Hello and welcome to the screencast tutorial on the Peninsula Library System's SharePoint FIDO tool. FIDO, or Find Information Digitally Online, was a term coined several years ago and refers to the Microsoft SharePoint product that allows PLS staff to work on documents as a group, to share information, or to store files that are important to the daily operations of your library. SharePoint is designed for PLS staff and is not intended for use by the public. Some uses include using SharePoint as an intranet or a place to store master copies of forms, library policies, or other documents that staff needs to refer to on a regular basis. In this demonstration, I will show how to upload a document to SharePoint and how to edit and save changes to the document. First, go to the main SharePoint page at fido.plsinfo.org. The first time that you log in, you will be prompted for your login and password. This is the same as your PLS Outlook email login and password. You will not be prompted for subsequent logins if you have set your browser to remember them, as in this case. SharePoint works most effectively using Microsoft Office 2007 and Internet Explorer. Some of the features of SharePoint do not work well with other browsers and with older versions of Microsoft Office. The plan staff will set permissions for which parts of SharePoint you have access to. If you belong to a PLS committee, you should have access to both read and edit documents in that committee's section. You may also view other portions of SharePoint FIDO, but you may not have edit access for documents if you do not belong to those committees. Please check with plan staff to find out what areas that you have permissions for. On the main page, you will see tabs for each of the sections of FIDO. For this example, I'm going to demonstrate using the Information Services Committee. Clicking on the Committees tab, and then clicking on Information Services, I'm connected to the main page for the PLS Information Services Committee. Let's say that you've created a document for other members of your committee to use that requires each of them to put in information about their library. Using the Committee Info section as a work area, I'm going to upload a document that I've created to SharePoint. First, click Upload to add your file to the site. Notice that you can also add multiple documents at the same time if you need to. Now click Browse to view your desktop or other directory where a file might be stored. For this example, I've created a sample committee document. This works in the same way as attaching a file to an email works in Microsoft Outlook. Now your document has been added. You can see the name of the document as well as a new symbol that appears next to it when it is recently uploaded. You should use this FIDO document from now on to make any edits to this document and either archive or delete the file from your hard drive to avoid confusing it with the file that you've just uploaded. Let's say that now you or a colleague wants to edit the document. The first thing that you want to do is to check out the document. Changes to a document on SharePoint will not be saved unless you first check out the file. Clicking on the file name will let you read the document, but any changes that you make to it will be lost. So first, go to the drop-down arrow on the right side of the file and click Check Out, and then OK. You will see that now the document has a green arrow next to it, indicating that you have checked it out. No one else can edit the document as long as it is checked out to another person. Click on the file name or go to the drop-down arrow and select Edit in Microsoft Word. Go ahead and make your changes. In this case, I'm going to add my library's name and my name as a representative to this committee. When finished, you can click the Save button, or you can simply close the document and your changes will be saved. As you close the document, the following window will pop up and ask if you want to check the document in. If you are done making changes, click Yes, and the document will be available to the next person who needs to add information. Remember, no one else will be able to make changes until you check in the document. If you need to add any comments about the changes that you've made, you may also do so at this time. It is also important at the end of your editing process to check the document to make sure your changes have been made. Since you're only going to view the document at this point, you don't need to check it out, but simply double check your work and see that your changes have been made. That concludes the screencast. We encourage you to practice using SharePoint and to explore the site to see how others have used it to work more effectively with one another.